Okay, we're live.
Live.
Do your thing,
Live
Ben.
from New York.
And go.
Welcome back to Talking 20's, the
Nope.
podcast.
Try
Nope.
again. You did this last time. You forgot.
Take 20.
Take 20. Take 20, which is how many weeks it's going to take me to remember the name of the podcast that I host. Hi, I'm your host, Ben. This week we will be covering episodes 11 and 12 of the Rolling 20's. With us this week we have DM Fraya and 3 players, Josh, Dani, and for the first time on the podcast, Melody. Hello.
I saw you say hello, but I didn't hear it.
Yeah, Discord does that.
Cool. Well,
I feel like it has something to do with like the frequency of my voice sometimes. Who knows?
Aw.
But hello.
There we go.
All right. So, I believe we covered the introduction to Tinny in last week's episode on the podcast. But now that you're here, let's just go right away into for Tinny, I guess, or I don't know how to phrase this. What inspiration did you have for coming up with Tinny? And like, I'm guessing you had conversations with Fraya beforehand. How did those go?
One of my favorite things is like working with the DM to come up with a character's backstory in a specific world. So Tinny is actually a backup character that I had made for a different game that is currently on hold kind of playing because I wanted to try out an artificer who is just very bright and bubbly and just interested really in like making things. So then when I got to talking with Fraya, it was kind of like how we could fit her into kind of where the party was heading and kind of find like a good like spot for her and like what she likes to do and what her like motivations were like. So I had kind of an idea for a backstory already, and we were able to kind of like adjust it and tweak it and like fit it into this specific part of Exandria now, because my other campaign's not in Wildmount, but this one is now in a more familiar setting to me. So that was a lot of fun, and there are maybe some more things that I need to add to her or to further flesh out, but that was kind of like her inspiration. Her personality came first, and then her story kind of came second.
Nice. That's awesome. And then, so you were saying Tinny was a backup character for another campaign. How much experience, I guess, with RPGs, playing them or listening to them, have you had before starting this campaign? Because everyone gels so well, and it's stunning to me because not everyone has had years and years and years of experience.
I've been playing D&D for, oh gosh, maybe 3 to 4 years now. Started off with playing with just some friends, and then I took over DMing for a little bit for them for about 1.5 years or so in a custom kind of homebrew campaign that I did. And then have just kind of dabbled in one-shots here and there. I think my biggest like source of inspiration or experience, if you want to say, is like I watch Critical Role a lot, and I've watched like all of campaign 1, all of campaign 2, and currently following 3rd, and that's helped me a lot actually in just getting into RP and like character creation and stories, and it's just been great.
Nice. That's awesome. Well, you've been Tinny is a fantastic, fun little addition to this group, which is so interesting to where we start episode 11 because Tinny you weren't there for this episode.
I wasn't. No,
Right.
She was
I
in a
was
coma.
yes.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
well, Tinny was.
Tinny was in the coma.
I was this Comic-Con week or the week before?
Yeah, I think so.
This was Comic-Con week. Yeah.
Comic-Con week, yeah. So I was out for Comic-Con. And I really did want to join because I had some ideas of what Tinny would have done in that situation. But
As far as excuses go, that is the best excuse.
Pretty
Yeah,
good
it's not
one,
bad.
right?
It's not bad.
Yeah. Can't be mad at that.
No, not at all. That's awesome. How was Comic-Con?
It was great. It was my first
Nice.
time. It was so fun.
Nice. Excellent. Okay. Back to actually starting the review.
Okay, this is just 'cause I'm fascinated. Little question: what was the best cosplay that you saw at Comic Con?
Oh, that's a tough one. I have to say, like in the Masquerade, there was one from like Genshin Impact. It's just nuts, like humongous sword and all, just so detailed, crazy.
That game used to drain me so much money. I had to quit cold turkey just to stop, to have a bank account.
Oh no.
Real quick on the note of
Oh.
cosplay before we actually get started. Casey and his whole family do cosplay. Actually, my first con ever was with his family, and they were all amazing. Back in COVID, he started 3D printing an entire Rathalos armor set from Monster Hunter using flexible filament for parts of it so he can wear it. And he has most of it done. He didn't get to work on it really at all last year. But at some point, we should have pictures of Casey's Rathalos armor cosplay,
Oh, that's gonna be so cool.
which is great. When I went with them, it was the
is that the Loki
year.
headpiece?
Yeah, these are the
Oh,
ones that I made
yes.
for Comic-Con. So.
Are you Loki or are you Sylvie?
I was Loki. These are Loki horns.
Yeah, those are Loki.
Yeah, Sylvie's got one cut off. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, she's got the smaller ones.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. I
Yeah.
feel like I don't have enough nerdy shit.
Yeah,
For someone who's like a self-titled nerd, all I really have are no, I don't really have much. I have a lot of dice. Does that count?
That counts.
this is my latest excuse. I had to build
Hell
him.
yes.
Cool.
Or Greymon. Oh, he's so happy. He's so happy. Now I wanna paint him.
You're kind of stroking him like he's your boy. You know?
He's my boy.
That's true.
Yeah, that is my
Well,
childhood. That is
stroking
waking up at
the
6 a.m.
boys
on a
aside.
Saturday.
Don't touch
No,
my
same.
boy.
Let's get started because we could talk. I could talk Digimon forever. So let's Ben, please
Digimon
proceed
forever,
before
Gracie.
See, I was going to ask how
before we're
what's everyone's cosplay
yeah.
experience if they've cosplayed, but we'll do that another time.
Maybe at the end.
Maybe at the end. I'll make a note to do that at the end. But episode 11 starts with the air elemental fight. Everyone's on the ship. A ship which I've immediately forgotten the name of when put on the spot. Darn it!
Dear
I had
Sentinel.
it. Dear Sentinel, yeah.
Saw it back in episode 3, I think.
Yeah. You guys
Well,
are so paranoid.
maybe
about it.
episode one.
actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
episode one.
Yeah.
But
Throwback.
basically, Deer Sentinel goes into a giant storm, which ends up not exactly being a storm.
Oh, it was.
I mean, it's a storm, but there's more to it.
Yeah.
No, every time my phone goes to sleep, it goes to the bottom of my notepad. So I have to scroll all the way back up just to see. We start with basically Volcar being smashed into Tinny's workshop. Nice.
Yeah, great.
That was a fun way to start a fight. Taking me out of the fight completely was fun.
Yeah.
The
But
most
also-
Volcar entrance of all time, by the way. Falling through the ceiling.
What happens
With
at
lightning.
the other end of
Yeah,
the
with
rockets blasting off?
Yes, yes.
The aftermath.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then my next note is literally Tinny poisoned ? Oh, we will get the full details of that, but basically, Tinny's not looking good. Tinny has, I believe, what was it purplish coursing energy through her veins?
Like some
Yeah.
kind of ooze.
And liquid oozing
out of-
from all of the
Oozing.
holes in her face and
Like an ichor. That's a
Yes.
good word for it.
frothy sputum,
Yeah.
as I prefer to call it. Sorry, I took woofer once and it ruined me forever. So I use that phrase too much. Sorry.
And then for the next probably 2 hours, I get to look at a map.
Yeah.
I love maps.
Yeah, yeah, you do.
Which is very cool, I will say, having everyone able to place their pieces, think of a 3D space, 2D, to help with the 3D space. Cool interactive map to see. So we start out the fight. Quilly runs from room to room, warning everyone, knocking on doors, being like, "Hey, fight!"
Yeah.
Accurate.
That's it. Yeah.
To which,
With
my next
one-
note. Oh god.
I was just about to say with one very notable exception.
Which is my next note.
Yeah.
God damn it, Milo.
Milo, I'll be lazy. Oh shit, he's in here.
Yeah. How very apt for our most cowardly member.
It's so good.
That it's like, hey, I'm gonna. And you know, this is cowardly in the best way possible because Mikey absolutely plays Milo to a T, and it's fantastic. But he's like, you know what? Hey, I got some big burly team members that are definitely gonna save my ass again. I'm gonna stay in my room and watch how this unfolds. Cue air elemental go right through the window. And absolutely
Just natural 20 him.
a natural 20 on him.
And he dies again.
One shots him. Yeah,
yeah,
one
I
shots
forgot it
him.
was a nat 20. I did remember it was
Yeah,
a one shot.
it's a literal one shot. It might have been it might have been
Damn.
two because he gets two attacks, but
one
regardless,
shot, yeah.
in one action, it obliterated him.
So Fraya, was that elemental supposed to spawn there, or was it just like, this will be funny?
Well, I knew that they were going to, because they were under some guidance, one could say, from above. I knew that they were going to come from multiple angles because, it's more interesting. And if people have to split up to deal with them, then they have to split up, and then that's fun. And as soon as he did that, I was like, okay, well, you're being a coward, and someone's currently being punished for cowardly actions. You're on that list now, and it just showed up and bopped him. So he earned it.
Did not learn any lesson at all.
Nope.
Oh boy.
Never.
Nope.
How could he?
All right. My next note in here is Melody, your first introduction into the one game I've come up with this podcast, which is aptly named Who Said It? That's right. Anything you say can and will be taken out of context and held against you.
There's some good ones this episode, I suspect.
Yeah.
Good ones this episode.
This is a two-parter because it was a setup and punchline. First part, the ship is rocking and it's horrible and everything's getting wet now. Stuff's hard. Especially Kalis.
God damn it. God damn it. It's definitely not Kalis.
It's not Kalis.
It's definitely not Kalis.
Was everyone else there for this episode?
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone
Can you
was
repeat
here.
the first part again?
The ship is rocking. Go ahead.
The setup's probably me,
Yeah, it is.
realistically.
Okay.
It's
That's
rocking and it's
that's my
horrible and
shorthand.
everything's getting wet now. Stuff's hard. Especially Kalis.
That's got to be Josh, right?
That's what I
Or
was
wait, no,
thinking.
Blair. Blair was a goofy bastard in this one too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it might have been Blair.
It was Blair. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, he was going wild this one.
He came out of nowhere with humor.
He did.
He's a funny
This
guy.
This was Blair's first episode back, right?
Yeah. Back after a little bit of missing him.
Little-
Hiatus.
Yeah.
But I'm
And
not gonna
immediately
lie.
came out firing.
Blair's a funny guy. I feel like maybe by the solemnness of his character, it doesn't show very often. But it's very like him playing Theron as a very dry humor character is great.
Yeah,
Mixed with Blair's actually very funny.
yeah, he's very quick witted.
Very quick-witted. But it also helped that Kalis was actually just half naked this entire fight because he didn't get the chance to actually put on armor.
Everyone was half naked this entire.
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that were you technically? Were you
didn't
also
have-
not wearing anything?
I had no armor. I
Okay.
didn't have my shield. I didn't have my hammer.
Yeah.
I had
Nope.
my small hand.
his hand axe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yep.
Yeah, but I'm just totally imagining Kalis throughout this entire fight, basically just having these like nice linen pajama bottoms on, and then just absolutely going to town. It's a very beautiful picture to me.
Yeah, fan
Very
art. We need
picturesque,
it. We
yeah.
need it.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
There could be some good fan art from this one, like Theron and the rice. That's one of my favorite moments so
Theron
far.
and the rice was so good.
Yeah.
And then let's see. Next note in the battle, Kalis calls Bahamut celestial weapon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. I love that. I love that channel divinity.
Mhm.
You know, that little feature. Mainly because it's so thematic. And it's like, cool, I'm gonna light my sword up like a lightsaber essentially, and it's gonna look really cool. It also helped that, you know, it makes your weapon a magical weapon for a minute. So it's not too
It
bad.
does. And then you were saying some sort of like by the power of Bahamut, da 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 da.
Yeah.
To which then followed up by, that's right, round 2. I have a lot of quotes from these 2 episodes, friends.
Yeah.
By the might of me not giving a fuck, I suggest you fuck off.
That's Quilly. That's a Quilly one. I love that line so much. It's so amazing.
So good.
Yeah.
Immediately followed by a description of Fraya, as you said, her becoming Thor.
Yeah.
Because of the hammer can
That's
return.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Quilly's scary, man.
Really?
Yeah,
When
I
Quilly rolls
forget.
right, she's very scary.
Yeah.
very true.
I forget Quilly's power sometime. Mainly because one of my first introductions was Quilly almost dying trying to cross a bridge. But
Twice. Same
Yes.
bridge.
Twice.
yes. Same bridge.
It's why Quilly doesn't like bridges.
Or
Just
stairs.
being off the ground.
Yeah, or airships for that matter.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
Wow.
surprised how well Quilly holds her own, despite being basically the worst fear that she could probably have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think adrenaline is key.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
Quilly does well when she can shut her brain off and smack stuff for a little bit. So this was very much that.
Uh, next note is just Milo gets drive-by healed.
Yeah, he does. Yep, and then he keeps hiding.
Yeah.
Keeps hiding.
Oh, I'm gonna go back in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep.
basically.
Wait, didn't you roll a
Um,
natural 20 to get up?
yeah.
Yes.
I think
I thought
maybe.
I thought that was
He
a
might
thing.
have.
That was
He
I
might
thought-
have.
I
I
thought-
don't remember anymore.
I thought someone rolled a natural 20 to then like get up and then immediately died again. I
Yeah.
thought that was okay.
That was Milo, but I think it was slightly
Later on.
right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
he
think
went
that's
down
absolutely hilarious
like
though.
3 times in this fight. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Anytime he
Got a
got
lot.
touched by anything, he just died.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad.
That's why he hides.
That was the first interaction.
That is why he
That was
hides.
our that's our first interaction with him. Death by giant mass, I think, of tentacles. Just a
Flesh
mass.
I'm still.
Yeah.
Well, I know we talk about it a lot. I'm still so sad that episode wasn't recorded. Or that section
Yeah.
wasn't recorded, because not only is that one of my favorite monsters, but the way everything and the birth of the Chosen One was just
Oh, the birth of the
mwah.
Chosen One.
So beautiful.
Oh.
But anyway, back to the
Chosen
fight
one
at
is
hand.
Too hyped up. Too hyped up.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's gonna be.
Wait
It's gonna be
wait
the
till you get
biggest
back to the city.
letdown.
Oh God.
Oh boy.
He was talking
Turns
to the
out the-
crown.
Turns out the Marquis is actually just the chosen one. Everyone, we all got bamboozled.
Could be.
But yeah.
Don't give me
Now,
ideas.
this is
Why are you?
This
Why are
is-
you giving him ideas?
always get. Freya always has plenty of ideas. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm not lacking for douchebaggery up here, so.
Man, if that was recorded in an episode, you know that would have been on a podcast.
Oh,
Anyway.
100%.
Speaking of, hey, yeah, that's right. It's round 3. This is the last for the episode. It went hard and heavy right in the beginning. Round 3 of Who Said It. You gotta touch who you gotta touch.
Oh, jeez.
Derek. That's Derek.
Derek. Is that Derek?
I don't have a guess. They could have been anyone in this one.
Oh, wait, you gotta touch who you gotta.
I could have said it. I don't fucking know, man. Like,
It was said about Derek healing Milo.
Maybe it would have been Josh.
Maybe. I mean, I wasn't.
I'm gonna go.
My
It could
character.
be magic, but
I'm gonna go me or Blair. I don't know.
I feel like that's a Blair line. This sounds like a Blair line.
That sounds like a Blair line.
What's so great is that sneaking in under the radar, and yet
No.
still here, Dani does not remember.
Wow. That was
why I
like
write them down.
the crazy thing for me about episode 11 is that what's happening is so intense and feels incredibly dire, but I imagine the experience of watching it didn't feel quite that way because there was so many goofy things happening and being said between these very important dire actions happening. So I think it feels more lighthearted than what was actually happening somehow.
Yeah, I didn't think I would have said that. I'm not gonna lie, but that's funny.
I do have a note. Remember to ask for consent before healing or buffing your allies.
Oh yeah.
That's just my own note. That's not what you guys said.
As they're currently unconscious, unable to actually give you the consent. You know what? Best policy: don't heal them.
Yep. That's how it works in emergency medical services. It's like, oh, you can't answer me. You're gonna die. Yeah. Sorry. That's not how that works. Just in case anyone thought that was serious, not at all.
But yeah, all the goofs and stuff. More back to your point, Fraya. Like I know this was dire, and I definitely was like, not stressed, but like, it was intense. Yeah. But again, all the jokes. It's like I'm not the one doing the math. I'm also not the one trying to plan out my moves, see what everyone else is doing, plan my moves off of that. I just get to sit back and experience, which is great. And times like this, it's I like being in the passenger seat instead of having to do all the math and all the driving. There are definitely other times where I'm like, that's so much fun though. At least I get to watch along. This was one I was like, hey, I don't have to do a thing. And you guys keep it so entertaining with all the little quips and some of the choices you make in battle.
Yeah. Maybe the big one we should bring up right now.
Oh, which one was that?
Well,
who
we're not
in this?
there yet.
We're not there yet. Okay.
We're not there yet. Because we're gonna set up some continuity. Volcar screams at the sky again,
as usual.
Every episode.
My note is again. That's like his thing.
Yeah.
Then we're introduced, or I guess I'm introduced. You guys are reintroduced to the bonk stick.
Oh yeah, the bonk stick.
Oh, the bonk stick.
Derek's bonk stick.
That's right.
Derek's spiritual weapon.
Yeah.
The Makwahito.
Yeah.
How are the?
It's like the Aztec sword.
Club sword.
It's a club essentially with obsidian shards that are embedded into the side of it. That's used like a sword. And I'm pretty sure it's Makwahito. I think that's the.
I think so. But it's cool as shit, and we get to see the bonk stick.
The bonk stick.
It does some bonking.
It does.
The bonk stick also has its own personal sound now. And I think that was introduced in that episode.
It was in this one, It's Derek's phone ringing, or Iron Dan's phone ringing, which happens constantly. It's amazing.
It's true. Derek and Iron Dan both have their own phones.
Yeah, they do. It's very fitting.
Iron Dan said to just Google Aztec sword, which I just did, and don't get hit by that.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to.
That'll fuck you up. Yeah, Derek's brutal, man. He does not fuck around. He might just be a little like caravan shop hippie type, but he will fuck you up.
Who definitely has girl problems. That's one of my running themes with Derek. Is
he just wants to murder that?
Kalis might have girl problems. Actually, no, I don't know where to follow that. But
yeah,
he
definitely has girl problems.
He definitely has girl problems. Yeah, I can't even.
That's it.
Yeah, but I feel like that's essential. That's a center point to the character. He has issues.
That's fair.
Just period. He has issues. But I feel like most people in the party that we have issues.
Well,
they're
think
just not evident.
Well, a character isn't interesting if they don't have issues. If they're the perfect Mary Sue, then you're kind of like, eh.
Yeah,
that is exactly what I wanted to bring up, because I mean, in the D&D help your hand along character creator, they always end with flaws.
True.
And I've learned like playing a flawed character is almost easier. Like if you have their thoughts and ideas in your head, if you're playing a coward, then run away from fights. Milo. If you're playing someone, like you can easily follow, almost more easily follow flaws than more easily follow fight with honor, don't kick kids, that sort of stuff.
We'll just let that one sink in.
Yeah, we'll let that one slide. We'll let that one slide for now.
I didn't know that kid was a pigeon. That pigeon was a kid. You can't blame me for what happened with that kid.
Well, you knew he was a kid when that happened.
Yeah.
But anyway, amazingly, that was also aimed at Kalis, I think.
At me.
It was both.
Yeah, it was both. Hey, the Red Bull boys are in full swing, baby.
Only against kids, I guess.
No pun intended, by the way.
God.
This is so great because I assume Melody has not really a clue what either of these two events that we're discussing are, and we're going to leave it that way for now because it's hilarious. One of them did attempt to assault a child, and one of them dreamed about it, and it was him as a child.
Yeah. It's a lot of...
Does that make it better?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Self-loathing.
Yeah, yeah. They bond through mutual hatred of themselves. It's amazing.
I was just gonna point out the thing to do, or the point related to flaws with a character. I think it's a relevant thing, especially in our campaign, because my flaw, or the flaw that I wrote down, is still somewhere in the character, is still yet to be explored. You come up with so many other flaws while you're actually playing the character.
Mm-hmm.
The evolution through roleplay is one of the most beautiful things in Dungeons and Dragons, because you'll just improv something on the spot,
it'll become an essential part of your character,
and it will become exactly. It will just evolve. Just naturally.
On the note of that, I know it's kind of a sidebar, but I think it's a cool one to discuss. So we are not too far off from Casey also running a new campaign for the channel, and Josh and I are, spoiler alert, we're playing in it. And we did a test game this weekend because it's a new system to all of us, and we used pre-made characters. And so we all just kind of sat down. I hadn't thought about my character stuff at all. I didn't even pick my character till 5 minutes before it. And in scene one of it, we used cigarettes as an improv jumping off point to set up flaws for all three of us within 4 sentences. And it completely informed the entire session and the relationship between everything. And it was incredible. So it's the little tiny things that just happen that can go so far
magical.
With it. It was incredible. Just like 45 seconds into the game, and we're like, all right, we're already a group, and none of us even made these characters or thought about it. So it can be really big, and that's the thing I like to do with NPCs a lot.
With pre-made characters, imagine what we're going to be like when we have our own.
Yeah,
I'm excited. But
another thing with flaws, like, I think the more, it's weird because when you're given the character creation in 5th edition, you have 2 personality traits, a bond, and an ideal, and then a flaw. And it's a great starting off point. It's better than they had in other editions, where that was completely absent, and you basically had to just think of that on your own and not kind of place that on the actual character sheet itself, because the only thing that really that changes in terms of numbers happens on the character sheet. Everything else that happens with respect to, your character's motivations, the way that they interact with the world, their ego, all the personal stuff happens off the page in previous editions. With 5th edition, it was awesome because you actually got to write it down. Well, if you didn't do it before, but you have to actually write it down when you actually get into making a character, and it gives you like this skeleton to work off of. And once that skeleton's complete, well, I never really think it's complete because every session you're building on it.
Yeah, looking back, the more I see it, the more I've played, the more I realize the character sheet is the least important part of playing D&D. It's the interactions that make it so much worse. My notes are more important to me than my character sheet.
Yeah.
Which is something.
I will add to that in the context of a campaign like this. Yes. Because there's still the other big side of D&D, which is essentially just a number crunching dungeon crawler, which is fine, and it's made to do both. So I will specify that, because a lot of people would disagree very, very strongly. But I would say the character sheet is the least important part of playing the character.
Yeah,
essentially. Yeah.
That's what I was trying to say.
It's awesome when you can actually see on your character page. It's like, oh, I have this really, really sexy greatsword, and in your head it's like, I you can picture it. It's like, oh, it does a lot of damage, and there's some very primal, like, feeling as to, it's like, oh, that's really nice, as to like see that on the character sheet. But the most important stuff is definitely not on there. Like,
it's really in your head.
Exactly. Unless you have that in like notes or something, and but it's still probably not on your character
like
sheet.
I have a detailed description of the warhammer that Volkar uses, including nicks, what it's called, who's written on the warhammer, that kind of deal. And it's all been part of like how I think, but it's still just the warhammer I got at the beginning of the game.
Yeah. Actually, on that note, shout out World Anvil. Great website, by the way. More people should use it.
Yeah, me included. I should use it more, admittedly. It is very good.
The thing with World Anvil, and why I think everyone should use it, mainly derives out of all of these prompts that they give you for building a character. And again, that's one of the greatest things that I've used for developing my character. For instance, there are things that we've not come upon yet that I'm really itching to use with respect to Kalis, but we'll have to see in game, because I'm not about to spoil them here.
All right. Well, hopefully we get to talk about that on another episode.
Hopefully.
In the meantime, we'll just glaze over some battle notes I have, which is the next one is, oh look, Volkar jumps off the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can gloss over that one. Not important.
Not important, not at all. Not entirely.
Yeah, not at all.
Last call.
Yeah, when it happened, when I'm on, because I got blasted up. I'm by myself on top of the thing, and I will say this: it was a panic decision. I had
yeah, really.
All right, I've got two options. Either A, I go down and I go down fast, because every time I move, I damage myself, and I've been like popping health potions like crazy. So my only thought is, all right, either I can A, stay on the ship and die, or B, hopefully lead this thing away from my friends and face it with honor and dignity, and try and like pop my wings, which I haven't been able to do for the first time, and try and like catch the wind so I could come up and stab this thing in the eye.
With a hand axe and no armor.
With a hand axe and no armor.
Yep.
Just go full berserker Viking.
And instead, what happens?
Kalis jumps off.
You have no wings. And a few seconds later, Kalis jumps out the window after you.
Yep. Yeah, my only note in between the two is Derek is down.
Yeah, Derek is down. Theron sees Volkar falling off the ship and is like, what the fuck is happening? And then Kalis jumps out because the friendship amulet lets him sense that Volkar is falling.
Yep.
Yes.
Red Bull boys.
Red Bull boys.
Red Bull boys for life.
Red Bull boys for life. Question though, I forget if I did pop my wings as soon as I jump out. Or was I just like bullet falling after him, and then as soon as I try to get to him, then I pop them out? It was.
You asked if you had a minute, how much time you had for that, which was a minute, and I think you popped them as you were diving.
Oh no. I already had them out in combat
Yeah,
That's right. You were
mind.
30 seconds into it. That's where
I was already
30 seconds was.
I was already 30 seconds in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was definitely probably more than 30 seconds away from him at that time, so my wings were probably, short-lived anyways. But it doesn't matter because
you get
It doesn't matter.
lightning blasted immediately.
Exactly.
And then we get a solo scene.
Yes,
Unless Ben has more comments on that last bit.
No. Quilly throws an axe over Milo. Milo doesn't die and runs a few steps and then dies.
Yeah.
He runs 2 steps.
Maybe answered later, but how did you all not die? All I'm hearing is died.
Oh, so it was Milo went down 3 times in the fight at least.
The healer didn't have access to any of his spells at the time.
Yeah. He had no spells. Kalis absolutely shreked one of these things. Quilly was playing babysitter. Milo kept popping up and immediately getting shit on again.
I was rolling very well, surprisingly.
And Theron was relatively out of the fight for a lot of it. And then in one giant lightning blast, 3 of the 4 left on the ship go down instantly. And it's just Quilly sort of conscious as Kalis gets lightning blasted out of the sky and is also out. And then it's Volcar falling through the storm.
For most of it, because Theron was tending to Tinny, if I remember correctly.
And trying to get Zentha, and then falling in a barrel of rice for a little while, so.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was one turn, too. Yeah.
Not one when the ship rocked and he just smashed through it, so. Yeah, Theron did a lot of good utility, and he had very good intentions. It just didn't really reflect, which happens in a lot of fights, actually.
But yeah, then we get the all right, everyone out.
Yep, I kick everyone out. And Ben, I'll just let you talk to Josh on this one.
Well, I think at first I had a note of you asked for 2 D100 rolls from each of them. Both got over 90, which was insane.
Yeah, which is very much not what they wanted.
No.
Oh, it was not what they wanted. Interesting.
Lower was the one that...
I was treating it like divine intervention, where you have to roll below your level to connect with your god and have them intervene in that moment. And as they were both desperately trying to do such things, I decided to give them a chance, and it went almost as wrong as it possibly could have on the rolls.
Yeah. But I clearly wrote down here, not that they mean anything from Dani. I'm like, no, I've asked Fraya this before. Every roll means something. He never makes you roll for no reason.
Yep. I roll for no reason sometimes because it's funny to scare people with the sound of the dice, but anytime I ask a player to roll, there's a reason and a consequence for success and failure.
I think that scene was a lot of Volcar just realizing, oh shit, I am a dumbass. And now I've probably gotten my friend killed.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much. I know it was, for some reason, I was worried enough that I was like looking at the screen, just kind of watching everyone's, well, not everyone, because it was secret chat, just your face and Freya's face. And then my eyes slightly wander from the YouTube video down to the recommended video for episode 2, and I see nameplate Volcar, Josh, him. I'm like, all right, well, it's got to go well somehow, unless we're doing a prequel episode. Which took just a touch of suspense out, but still, I'm just like, how are you getting out of this?
It was the mercy of his god.
It was the mercy.
And that also, and it turned me into Iron Man.
It did.
Yep.
You make a connection
just
with
for melody, because you didn't catch this, and if anyone happened to miss this, I don't know why you'd listen to this if you missed the episode, but in case, Volcar plummets off the ship. Kalis jumps after, wings out, tries to get him, gets immediately struck by lightning and is unconscious. The giant blast on the ship knocks 3 of the other 4 in unconsciousness. Volcar doesn't know this, but the ship is just tumbling around in the sky, and he's falling. And at first he's very intense and kind of angry about it. 2 hands on his little hand axe, just screaming into the heavens above, like pretty much like a take me, leave them alone. Like, this is all, I did this, not them. I will die so they don't have to. And essentially the giant storm elemental, or whatever it was, pretty much water blasts him back up onto the ship and into it, where the entire ship is now filled with water and things are moving in slow motion except Volcar, and he gets to go around and desperately tap into his connection, kind of revive the spark, and stabilize everyone. And at the end of this, he is overcome by a pain that he is convinced is death, and he surrenders to it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happens there.
We wake up 10 years later and he's frozen in a block of ice.
Yeah, that's actually...
10,000 years later, he's greeted by Vox Machina.
Oh,
yes. So yeah, and he stops everyone from dying and then passes out, and everyone comes to. Tinny's workshop is destroyed. Tinny is not doing well still. And Volcar is laying there with a smoking, his amulet smoking, charred grafted into his chest, and he's completely nude, and they all feel horrible. And yeah, then Zentha runs out and is like, "What the fuck? Lightning struck the ship," and everyone's like, "I don't have time to process this."
We depoison Tinny. It's the note. Yeah.
Volcar puts on some pants.
No, you don't. You get minor illusions. Booty shorts.
Yeah. Booty shorts.
Pants is a strong word.
Yeah, something to cover some part of him.
To Melody, to give you more context for the blarg note, you basically throw up all the poison, the stuff. Yeah, Melody. Tinny was unconscious and now is like, okay, better. Ish.
Well, no.
Actively dying.
It's not
constantly actively dying.
Better is not what was going on there necessarily.
We reset the clock. Zentha basically tells that Tinny has a disease that infects tieflings that she thought Tinny didn't have.
Yep.
But turns out that is not the case.
Yep.
And Zentha is worried mom, basically.
Yes, because Tinny's whole family has this as well, and that is why they are trying to go get this thing to try and heal them.
Yes. Yep. Zentha took Tinny to save her. Volcar's new tribal chest tattoo. Melody, welcome to I also just take notes poorly. So half of the podcast is me trying to decipher my own notes.
It's great.
Which is great, because it's kind of group... it's a group effort.
Yeah,
makes us think.
Deciphering, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then Zentha basically is like, all right, we're going to teleport. You have 10 minutes to get ready. 10 till adventure.
Yep.
Derek's cell phone rings. Derek's, not Iron Dan's.
Yeah, Derek's this time.
Nothing too much. No.
Be very specific that it was Derek's and not Iron Dan's.
Yes.
Yes. People just get ready. There's a little bit of like, that was weird, and everyone's like, yeah, we know, we have to leave.
Yep. And then right at the end, we get a secret chat with Quilly.
Yeah, we do. After they land in Sand Throne.
Yes.
And we can hold on to that. I assume by the time next time that was very confusing. By the next time Izzy is on the show, you'll have a string of questions. So we can hold on to that. We'll keep it a secret for now, but we do get something involving Quilly and maybe finally remembering some stuff of her past.
Yeah. And then right at the very end of the episode, we roll for HP, and it's benevolent.
Level 5!
Yeah, yes.
Our benevolent god allows us to level up.
Our benevolent god gives Milo a blessed HP roll.
Yes, we blessed him with the max roll.
Yes.
Because I don't want Milo to die, you know.
No. While it's fun to have Milo basically be ragdolled, the sand
that won't stop, I
Super Smash
imagine.
Yeah, I think that's there to stay.
Yeah. But, yeah, pretty much the vast majority of the episode is combat.
Yeah.
It's a pretty long thing. And then we get that little bit at the end. Quilly sees her stuff. Yeah, we level up, and I think that's it.
The feeling of leveling up is just a different thing.
It is.
Yep,
Oh, it's
y'all
so
earned
lovely.
it. Y'all earned it. I've been torturing you guys.
Against the air elementals. Thank you.
Yeah.
It was definitely
Very much the wrath of the Stormlord.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he was.
Though
he wanted to teach Volcar what happens when he fucks around. The people around him get hurt.
Yeah.
Though I will say this, I am thankful that I could heal again, at least. I've gotten that ability back. And because we got to level 5, I can bring people back from the dead.
Mm-hmm.
5 of 5.
Yep.
I just need a ring on my finger.
Yeah. Not to mention, this is it was a big level up for a lot of the other party members.
Yep.
Mainly Quilly, Theron, myself included. Extra attack is,
Derek too
Chef's
got some spicy stuff.
I think the third level spells he also got.
Yep.
Oh yes, you got third level spells and something else, which is a note.
Fireball might be there. Really might be. Just haven't seen it yet. Probably.
But yeah, that is. Any last comments on episode 11?
No, I'm already trying to decipher my own notes for episode 12. So if you see my puzzled face,
I do. All right, so coming in episode 12, no animals were harmed. Is the title. I forgot episode 11 is Thunderous Rebuke. Which, by the way, if there's ever a time to call back that old D&D spell, that's the time. So I had to.
One. I mean, I technically have it, but I can't use it.
Yeah, fair. So, Ben, what's your first note?
In Xanthrone.
What was that?
In Xanthrone?
Sandthrone?
Xanthrone?
No, what's the name of the town?
Where we are.
Yeah, Sandthrone. The throne in the sand. As in, it's sort of a little oasis there on the northern part of the desert. It is the throne of the desert. Yeah.
Throne. Look at that.
I mean, Xanthrone sounds very critical role. Sounds very Exandrian.
It does. And that's the problem with fantasy. Nope, Sand Throne.
Sand Throne.
Yeah, it's a bit more on the nose.
Oh, incredible.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know what note you're talking about, but it's note 3.
No.
Okay.
Note 2 is just Tinny wakes up.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we get Tinny's point of view of what happened. And I don't know, any comments from either of you on that? It's not really a pretty process.
No, that was just my note.
Okay. Just asking.
Tinny wakes up.
Tinny, it was like, just, I don't think she's really processed it yet, honestly.
Were you surprised that that's what happened? Like, you left for a week? And then, oh my god, I'm in a coma and I'm dying now?
I knew a little bit beforehand that at some point she was probably going to find out that she was diseased some way or another. Or that was like an idea that we had tossed out. I wasn't sure if it was actually going to happen. But yeah, it was. I didn't think it would happen like this soon. So
I didn't either. I had some other plans, but it just happened to fit what was happening so well, and it was like a very good excuse for why Tinny's not helping, because I don't want to run an artificer on top of everything, it's a lot. So there were some other plans in the works. We had discussed some stuff. I will say that wasn't just I was like, oh, well, you missed an episode. Your character's dying. I was well within the bounds of what we had discussed in making that decision. So it was a little sudden, but yeah.
Interesting. Okay. So the only other guest character we saw beforehand was Casey playing Clink?
Clink.
Yes. And then we
Which
had
was just-
Ivy briefly.
Right. But both of those characters were just one-off one episode. So
For now.
being okay.
That's all I'll say is
You're
we've
right,
only
we
seen
do
them
have to
once.
go-
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, we
right.
don't know.
Ivy is still running around city. Oh no.
Yeah,
Ivy's
and
running around in
Clink is
Bethlehem.
presumably also still doing something, you know?
I'm
I just
pretty
assumed
sure
Clink
that Clink is alive, maybe.
Hopefully.
Maybe. No one seemed to ask
His
Zentha
bl-
or not
yeah,
Zentha, Zilfine.
His blood. She still has his blood.
As far as we know.
Yeah.
We're gonna get back Clink's like impaled on the spires of Vasselheim. Like
No.
Jesus Christ, man.
Oh, this is
I just-
getting real
I
dark
just
real
watched-
quick.
I just watched a horror movie. It was really, really good.
Okay, fair. But yeah, anyway, Ben, to the point you were trying to get at. Sorry for cutting you off there.
I've completely forgot. I'm just happy that we have a multi-episode Melody and Festinius. I think that's all the point I was trying to make, is I'm not expecting Festinius or Tinny to be around. So I'm like, oh, there's Poison. All right, there's that one episode. Wait, what?
Yep.
And she's back.
Yep.
Yeah.
And can't get rid of me that easily.
No, you can't.
Good.
Yeah, we'll have Tinny for a bit. Is the plan.
Yeah.
So here's. Do I have 2, 3, 3, 4? Ooh, there's a lot of who said it's this episode.
Oh,
Uh-oh. Oh, shit.
Round 1. This one should be easy though. I like the idea of Theron being able to eat your horse while you sleep one night.
That had to be me, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I was
Yeah,
in the
that's-
middle of writing down, and then you said, "Ooh, I can't wait for Ben to bring that up on the podcast."
Of course. Of course you're going to get that one. That was a great one.
Yeah. But I was also like, "Oh, I feel so called out right now." I liked it better when I subtly infiltrated the podcast by coining Red Bull Boys, and now it's just like, "No, Ben's gonna get this." Like, oh god.
You've become a
Well,
public
that's like-
figure for us, so
By,
yeah.
by the way, that Red Bull Boys is fully in use. I hope you know that is
I know.
definitely the terms for the bromance.
It is. You guys say it multiple times an episode.
Yeah.
My next note is Derek can fly now. A third long lost Red Bull boy.
It's
Yeah.
true. Pop those.
There. This is the note that I had a very puzzled expression on my face that I had to decipher, because the note just reads, "Theron gets what's around," which is just Fraya telling you all the lay of the lands, like what's to the north, south, east, and west. Like, what does that
It's
mean?
like, yeah, I don't even know what that means. Yeah, you know, Theron just gets what's around.
Theron gets what's around. He's got
Yeah,
the
Just
brain
gets
cell.
it. Yeah, he gets it.
Then we get to the mission, which my note is just need ingredient to stave off Tinny's infection.
Yes. The
Yeah.
moss.
That's the core of it. However, the details of it are much worse.
Yes. All right, so the group needs to grab a moss that lives in a kitwala.
Yes, Kitwala.
Kitwala.
Yes.
That only grows on a certain creature that explodes.
Yes. A creature that secretes explosions.
Yep, it shoots explosions.
Yes.
It should be Tinny's best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I won't say anything. He hasn't seen 13, I don't think yet. So we'll,
It's not out.
Oh, 13's not out
yeah,
yet.
yeah.
My animal handling up.
it's ooh. But if the no-named group, if Captain Nemo's boys,
Captain Nemo's boys.
Captain Nemo's boys.
You should pick that one.
Oh, that would be
Ishmael and the Red Bull boys.
Yeah. Spoiler: we may or may not have chosen behind the scenes.
But we're trying to like wait for like a good time for like we're the so and so.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, that's not the name.
We're the so and so's.
That
You want us to do a so-so job? Get the so and so's.
It's like a barbershop quartet. We're the so and so's. You just like they're snapping out of the picture.
Oh, that's
By the way,
fantastic.
if we were ever to do a full Bard one shot, we're now the so and so's.
The so and so's.
It's a barbershop quartet.
Someone write that down. Someone write that down. That's incredible.
Great. You don't want me to write that down. I'll just be like, "What's the so and so's?"
Yeah.
Is that episode 13? But if our lucky group of adventurers complete this quest, they will be owed a favor from Zentha, which is.
And then Kayla summons a horse that just doesn't appear.
Yeah.
We just forgot about the horse.
Yes.
It's so funny.
Describe this horse.
Yeah.
Because
It
Yeah.
has a backstory.
oh,
my favorite
trust me,
thing.
it did not have a backstory when I made it up. It was on the spot because I was like, oh, cool. I get to find Steed. We're gonna find Steed.
And I will
right
find
away.
Steed.
And I will find
Yep.
Steed. Proceed to absolutely make up this, to be honest, super cool sounding steed, like warhorse.
Yeah.
You know, cool, like a reddish brown color. Nice mane. Probably some like otherworldly eyes because it's technically it's categorized as a celestial technically. And you know, because Fraya had to do it, name one unique fact about your horse. It's like, you know what? Its tail's gonna look like, you know, fluttering flames. To my surprise, when the session after that, he had let me know that one of his friends made it known that it resembled a constantly gassy horse, and then the tail is just you know, suffering the after effects. It's being pushed by the.
Oh my
farting
goodness.
horse.
Yeah. Totally
No.
recognized that while I was, you know, coming up with that because I was like, you know, it's harmless. Yeah.
Nothing's
so-
harmless.
Nothing. I was just about to say
Yeah.
nothing's harmless around Freya.
They'll get you. They'll get you. And then
But no,
we forget
don't
about it
don't worry.
completely for the rest of the episode because we all suck. However,
Yeah. It may or may not appear.
put a pin in
episode
that.
13.
We'll just
Yeah.
put a
Right.
pin in that discussion. But that does happen. And as soon as we stopped recording, I was like, "Oh my god, how does that one just go away?" But you know, there was other important details going on, so
Yeah.
I forgive
mean,
us.
It worked out. It really did.
I don't think
Yeah.
the horse was going to go anywhere in the small cavern that we. I don't think it would have
No.
fit with the rope trick. I really
No.
don't think the fit.
No.
Oh no, 100% not.
No.
It'd been fun
No.
to try, but I don't think so.
No.
Can episode 13 be the return of the horse?
Yes.
Oh,
Under
it's
hard.
already named. I mean, so 13 already
Aw.
streamed, by the way. I just didn't upload it
Oh,
yet.
that's fair.
It was supposed to go up yesterday, but I screwed up. But maybe we can have that
The
eventually.
Fellowship of the Horse.
Exactly.
The two
Horse
horses.
and
Thanks,
round.
Milo.
And finally, Return of the Horse King.
Oh, trust me. Freya knows what the name is of this horse. I'm looking at it right now in the extras tab of my D&D Beyond character sheet, and it might be my favorite thing of all time that I've ever come up with name-wise in Dungeons and Dragons.
Someday it will bless everyone.
I think
I
that
need
session I was
to-
actually messaging. Yeah, I was messaging Freya, with the horse name, and he had to physically stop himself from laughing. Actually, he might have even laughed
I did.
on.
You got a big smile on your face, at least.
I definitely did.
And he's like, "God
Yeah.
damn it!"
I know.
What?
I just thought of a good one, but I don't think you'll name your horse Penny too.
Oh no.
Oh. Why? So he can ghost that too?
Yes, because we forgot about it.
Yeah, it would have been a nice throwback if it was Sebastian.
I know. I was hoping.
But alas, it's not. But I think it's quite a bit better. And also the way. Never mind. I'm gonna leave that.
We'll
I'm
get
gonna
there.
leave
Yeah,
for Ben to discover for the podcast for 13.
Oh boy. All right. So back to saving Tinny. We meet our guide, the Earth Genasi. Genasi?
Yeah,
Name's
Genasi.
Perry?
Perry. Short for Pericles, but no one asked that.
Pericles, the
Pericles.
Wait,
is a type of rock.
Achilles? Oh, I thought that was Achilles' gay lover.
No, that's Patroclus.
Patroclus, yeah.
Yeah, close enough.
And his
but
cousin.
yeah. Anyway, yeah,
Agent Grace,
we meet
ladies and
Perry.
We're gonna play a fun side game here real quick, in that here's where I wrote Earth Genasi. Let's see how far we go until I actually catch the name Perry. I'll tell you when we get there.
Okay.
But Perry tells us, the viewers and the group.
No, but Ben, you're one of us.
basically.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Yeah. You're
Not
in the group.
officially yet. But my next note is, it's a Monster Hunter quest.
Yeah.
Yep.
Literally a Monster Hunter quest.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
It is.
We're baiting the Kitwalas with the lizard. bait Kitwala with lizard Kalis, blind harvest moss. It's just lizard Kalis because the lizards were the size of Kalis.
Yes.
Yes. I was like, I don't remember that discussion, but
And we just wailed on this poor thing.
Oh, we'll get to that.
well, yeah, we'll get there.
Goodness.
That's a bit later still.
What we did to that poor thing, PETA will come after us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Theron and possibly Milo, I missed, but we were given a hook shot and tranquilizer ammo, basically.
Yep.
For the arrows.
Some flash beads to blind stuff.
Yes.
And not Milo, just Theron, because,
just
Perry
Theron.
can read the room.
Okay.
And I wanted to live out my fantasy of Theron's just Link, so I had to do it to him.
He gave
So,
us the hook
I
shot.
gave him the claw shot, essentially.
Perry was asking how good of a shot Theron was, which led to this quote from this person. That's right, round 2 for this episode. I've never shot once in 6 seconds.
That's me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That it was, because your next quote after that was, apparently today all I say is horrible, horrible sexual things accidentally or intentionally.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you're probably a good guess for the rest of these.
Yeah.
Good person to guess.
Reasonably,
said the rest
yeah.
of these.
I said some very awful stuff throughout this episode.
I feel like at one point I made a comment. I was like, you know what? Let me tell you about this guy. He can shoot 2 arrows in 6 seconds.
It's so good.
That is exactly the
That's a
quote.
long time. That's a really long time to shoot 2 arrows.
It is. That is exactly the quote right before that.
Yeah, because in my head I was like, because I was making jokes and just letting them fly about how we leveled up to level 5 and how just overnight listen to this, he can now shoot 2 arrows in 6 seconds, and I'm a little comedian, so I thought it was funny.
He likes to think he's a comedian.
The next note was a comedic moment where we're going over what the tranquilizer does. And we just kind of gloss over. It's like, oh yeah, and it does a bunch of stuff to halflings too. Which Theron's like, what's Milo again? And Mikey's like, Milo is a friend! That's what Milo is.
So good.
We have to remind ourselves sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, he needs to remind you guys sometimes. That's how bad it is.
Constantly, from what I've seen.
Yeah, well, you've caught them at a particularly displeased moment in time with the halflings' antics. So
Melody, how much do you know of what's the current state of why everyone's mad at Milo?
He like ended up trying to steal something from Zolfine in her like fortress of like ever-changing rooms, and then she took like his blood or something, or the party's blood, and now they owe her a favor to make up for it.
All right, perfect. You're caught up.
Yeah.
Milo
And
did
also
dumb shit.
lost them a job that could have paid
Right, lost the job.
up to
Big
$500,000
money.
So
or
much,
$250,000.
much,
Yeah.
so much gold. Lost us so
Yeah.
much gold.
They didn't know
And
that.
the-
It was a name your price, but I told it to some of the members that the upwards cap was $250,000.
This guy was the son of the person who runs the banks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Big Bang family.
The politically. We're so screwed when we get back to the city. It is a very,
hey.
very good.
We might have lost one ally, but we might gain another. You never know. Okay.
Yeah.
Allies are to be made and lost. It is what it is.
He says
But,
that.
I'm not gonna.
3 episodes later, we see Kalis being hung for high treason.
Yeah. I'm not gonna remove myself or Kalis for absolutely disrespecting this guy in that whole exchange. But it is what it is. It happened.
Yeah.
But
It
yeah,
happens.
It was funny. It was funny.
So yeah, that's just to remind everyone just how badly Milo did fuck up. So
Just to reinvigorate that
yeah.
those animosity, the feelings of animosity.
Also love. I feel like everyone in the
love.
party has a small soft spot for Milo. I think I said this last podcast.
It's a
he's
love-hate
like this-
relationship.
Yeah,
Just
He's
very
the
little
stupid little
love.
brother you have to take care of.
exactly.
Yeah, who like even though he was stupid, he did bring back more money than anyone in the party has made the rest of the campaign. So
True.
I'm
That
still
is
holding
true.
on to that. Man.
Yeah. Not that
And
not that
Milo's
Kalis
the
cares much
youngest?
for money. Yes,
uh
I think so.
no, Milo's
I don't-
not the youngest.
I don't know who actually like what.
None of you have
the
asked
ages
anyone your ages.
Yeah,
That's
we
never
have-
come up.
I always mentioned, maybe it was at the last episode.
I think
Yeah, there was a little
maybe,
bit.
but Quilly
Well-
doesn't actually know her age.
that gives us a good barroom chat next time.
Yeah.
So
I'm at the crowbar.
yeah,
Or-
somewhere in the crowbar.
Yeah, somewhere. A bar.
A bar.
Actually, not
A
in the city.
bar.
But
This time on the deck
God.
of the.
where were we at? I know you're talking
Next
about
time we were
Milo.
playing cards.
Yes.
There's a small discussion of using various party members as bait instead of trying to get one of the lizard things.
Yeah. Kalis gets some
Kalis-
armor to use.
It's heat-resistant armor to use. And then we find out some of our timetables. Tinny has about 48 hours till
Death.
she's overcome with sickness. I don't know if
Yeah.
it's
We
like
die.
death at 48, but like...
Being comatose again, essentially.
Okay. And then a few days for the ship to come back too.
Yep.
The group of nobodies discussing things for someone said this is like the most planned out or most best thought out plan we've had yet. And I'm like, the group of nobodies discussing things for 2 minutes before rushing in. Is this a plan? We have a plan now. Let's discuss things for 2 minutes and then
Plan
rush
is
in.
a
That's a plan.
plan is a strong word.
It's. I was thinking of the meme of like the guy looking at a butterfly. Is this a bird? Except our group
Is this a
discussing
plan?
things for 2 minutes. Is this a plan?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I might need to make that
That's-
now.
I think that's exactly what it was. For sure.
To be fair, the bulk of the plan was, or the potential planning elements were given to you by someone who made a life out of doing this. So,
Mhm.
It's
Yeah, it's
fairly
super
reasonable to trust, to some degree, to trust the information being given to you. So, And you're notoriously bad at planning anyway, so you know.
Understatement.
We're very much fly by the seat of our wings kind of group.
We have our break. I don't know why I put the break in here. My only question was like, why is the IRL break 10 minutes and the stream 15 minutes? We don't have to discuss that now. I just wrote that for some reason.
Because we want to keep playing. But for stream, sometimes people have to pee or whatever, and it's like a long thing, so.
Bio break, fun.
Yeah.
Shopping for Volcar wants cool clothes, like temperature cool, not cool looking. But it's pretty cool looking too.
Because Volcar's from a cold climate. This is the exact opposite of a cold climate. So I imagine he's so hot in whatever leathers and furs he's wearing. He needs to, for a matter of life and death, has to change into something like Lawrence of Arabia-ish in order to not die from the heat stroke.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was wondering, Melody, I guess Tinny's tiefling, at least part tiefling. So Tinny does well in the heat, probably doesn't do well in the cold? Curious?
Probably accurate. I probably feel like she probably hasn't really been anywhere super cold. She's probably been out in deserty climates mostly.
Yeah, the coldest that I imagine she would have been was actually right before the ship turned around to go pick them up, because you guys were heading north of Vasselheim. So that was, I imagine, the furthest north she had been. And yeah, I mean, you grew up in the desert, so like, you know.
Hey, we're still playing the game here. This little side quest, because my note is the guide says, odds are at least one of us is dying. To which my response was, oh yeah, sack one, save one, the D&D way. Who in the party are we sacking to keep Tinny? Break in case of emergency diamonds.
Yes.
Just Volcar's diamonds.
I felt like a kept woman a little bit. Lady, girls buy me diamonds.
It's like, oh, you shouldn't have.
That was. Yeah, Tinny's like, you're saving my life. Let me pay for this.
Let me pay for my break in case of emergency diamonds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but in my head, I just totally imagine, this amulet in his chest kind of houses a little diamond and then just break in case of emergencies and
not
just takes
currently, but you do have someone really in the party who works with metal and stuff, so maybe you could do that.
Totally make it for you.
Yeah. Although you'd
really
have to work on it attached to him, probably. But you could try. That's a cool idea.
That'd be really cool.
My next note is Perry! That's his name! And the platypus. That's how far I went until I realized what the guide's name was.
Yeah.
It happens.
Oof. I just memorized by in my head just being like, Perry the platypus.
Yes.
And then that's all I.
Yep. Again, that's my note. Perry, that's his name, and the platypus. Normal Monster Hunter prep and guide check to ask questions like, is it light down there? Which was a very good question.
Yeah. That's a great question. So Perry is clearly, he's not a teacher. He's a guy who does stuff. And now he's having to teach people, and he wasn't considering that some of you, in fact, all of you, didn't grow up here and so aren't that familiar with a lot of the things. So he covered the big stuff, and the question of, like, is it light down there is huge, and it's not something he ever would have thought of because he grew up in a spot with caves that function like this. So some smart questions there. If there was a lack of information, that is why I had Perry, that's why I was playing him that way, because he's not a teacher, he's a hunter.
A monster hunter?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's his class.
All right. This is a throwaway round of who said it. I'm feeling benevolent tonight. Don't quote me on that ever, please.
That has to be Fraya.
I mean, it was me.
Yeah.
And you quoted me, so you're fired.
I did.
Benevolence gone.
We Spawn in is not the right word, but get to the lair, also not the right word. But I'm just stuck using Monster Hunter terms now.
That's fine. We spawn in the map.
Perry immediately disappears.
Yep.
Perry, where'd you go?
Perry kind of left us.
Yeah.
I mean, he told you he was going to.
Yeah.
I know.
He said,
I know,
I'm crippled now. I can't go back in there because I made a promise to someone. So, yeah, of course he left you. He made a promise.
Like my dad
Always
all
keep
over
your
again.
promises if you want to keep your friends.
And you go spelunking. Well, that's not really the word, but
Yeah.
sort
Willie and
of.
Theron going first. Apparently that's a thing. Because that was the thing before recording started.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the group
Session
lost all
1.
their rope to that.
It went real bad. It ended up with Quilly tied to a tree while Derek was slapping her in the face repeatedly and taking more
Yeah.
damage than she was.
Yeah.
And Kalis and Volkar were trying to drown each other, sort of. It was pretty, yeah, it was pretty bad. I'll spare the details. I'll just leave you with that. And Theron
was
solved
very-
everything. Yeah,
It was very mysterious first session, to say the least.
It really did just cement like how well we worked with each other
Yeah.
and how crazy this ride was gonna be.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what we started on. That was an hour and a half into this campaign was all this stuff starting. So, you know.
And look how
Let me
far we
process
shot.
all that
We
real
don't
quick.
have time for that. Nope. Can't.
Nope.
Moving
nope,
on.
nope.
Dropping into the Monster Hunter pit.
And
Good.
I was
Everyone-
just surprised we didn't hear da 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 da.
I wanted to play the. Oh my god, I forget his name. I always call it the pickle. Oh my god, what's the name of it? The pickle. Ben, help me. What's the name of the pickle?
Crap. Hold on. Oh, it's,
Monster Hunter people, you know this. The T-Rex, the pickle. He's got bad breath and he fucks everyone up.
Devil Joe.
Yes. Yes, the Devil Joe, the pickle. I was gonna play the pickle theme song, but we would have been canceled instantly for that, so I didn't. But it's terrifying.
I still have nightmares about the Devil Joe coming into my session, invading my session.
Yeah, so I was gonna scar you with that, but anyway, yeah, we begin the hunt officially. 50-minute timer is set.
Quilly is good at seeing. Better than Theron and his elven
Oh,
eye.
you monster. It's fine. We say it every episode.
I know you do.
Yep.
So my note is just
A reference which Quilly/Izzy unfortunately does not understand.
Izzy has never seen Lord of the Rings.
I know, and we've
We had
discussed this
to-
on
we had-
podcast, and it
we had
still
to
boggles
stop.
my mind.
We had to stop for a second to
Yeah.
realize what that meant.
I know. Moment of silence.
Yeah,
Izzy has never seen Lord of the Rings in any
know.
capacity.
boggles my mind.
Or read. No, there's been no consumption of Lord of the Rings.
I mean, isn't it like required reading in high school?
No, unfortunately
flies,
not.
not Lord of the
Should be.
Rings.
I mean, what are they teaching kids these days?
Nothing, apparently.
No,
But anyway, just wanted to put that out there into the cosmos in hopes that it will somehow come back and Izzy will watch Lord of the Rings very soon.
Let's make a day out of it. We'll just
We could.
We'll
Instead
do,
of-
series, we'll
instead
do a
of
doing
commentary.
episode
We'll do a live
14.
commentary of.
Oh, I could never.
I don't want to do
If I'm
that.
watching if I'm watching Lord of the Rings, that has to be dead silent. I am immersed.
3
Anyone
hours
speaks, they're
silence.
fired. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
No, 3 hours. We're going 5, man. We're doing the
Yeah, we're going extended
Oh, yeah,
edition,
yeah.
baby.
practice extended. Yeah.
extended edition with the appendices. We got to watch the appendices.
That's right.
Anyway,
Commentary
shaming
with Jr.
shaming Izzy aside.
Grandson.
We're in the
inside the
cave.
group.
They find a tunnel. They dig it out. Everyone gets down there. Starts scouting around with Theron.
Yep. The group successfully sneaks around a pile of pillars, which is actually the. Oh gosh, I have to scroll all the way back up for this name until someone but Kitwala.
The Kitwala. Yep. Yeah, Quilly sees it, and it's huge. Very big.
6 Quillies long.
And it punches
It
explosions.
is. It punches explosions. It's currently asleep. And everyone decides, hey, instead of checking north in the tunnels, where we were explicitly told there's more tunnels, we're going to walk right by this thing and go find the closest possible Kuya to it to assault.
We just wail on this poor thing.
Oh boy, do you.
Fun fact, there was a spot to the north, not that far, would have been way better. There was one just asleep, hanging out there already. And nope, everyone was like, this thing's big. We have to sneak by it instead of go the other way. And you did, and I was like, well, okay.
Yep.
Find the bait, don't get flashed, is my note. Which is terrible phrasing. Moving on.
Yep.
In the quote-unquote battle, the very one-sided battle,
I feel like you're pushing
The assault.
definition of what battle is.
Yeah.
This was
It was-
cold-blooded
it was-
assault.
Battle.
Battle requires some kind of reciprocation on the other end.
We
which
just
is,
wailed on
like,
this poor innocent animal.
It was
Let's-
It
more
like tried to blind us and it
Yeah.
couldn't.
It
kind of a
didn't work.
slaughter at this point.
let's go through everyone's sins.
It's a good point. Yeah.
Make that a
We
new
have the
segment,
receipts.
please. That's
Go through
great.
everyone.
Weekly sins.
At the end, I'll just have a little tally.
Yeah, please do that.
Oh,
That's amazing.
Theron tranks but doesn't down. Oh boy. Derek webs the door, which was probably the best move.
Saved us
Prevented-
from like 17 of them.
At least
no,
2.
it saved you from potentially 2. You didn't know. In reality, 1. And essentially, what that meant was this other one stood on the other side, crying, wanting to help its friend, who you beat the fuck out of and murdered in front of it, is what it saw. So Derek
Well, we
sinned.
Oh yeah. Derek made him watch.
Boy, murder it.
Yeah, yeah.
Volcar-
We
We'll,
needed
we'll
it
check in
alive.
on the note. We'll check in on the note
Yeah.
of murder next episode.
Well,
and to this thing, that's what
Volcar
it
just Volcar just did nothing.
No, Volcar threw an axe.
I threw the blunt end of a stick. Let's be
You had
honest.
a 50-50 chance of that
Yeah.
not being the blunt end.
Yep.
Anyway, continue
Any-
continue counting our sins, please. I want to hear our
Penny,
judgment.
not innocent in this one either, has a rock catapult into the face.
Because we were trying to capture this, and like literally all of her spells are like fire or acid or poison. I'm like, none of this is non-lethal. So it's like I really can't help in this unless I throw a rock. So yeah, catapult. First level spell.
The only one who didn't sin, I'd like to have you know, is Kalis. Kalis
Don't have a note for Kalis. Kalis did
Yeah.
specifically lean against the wall.
and he was just watching this all unfold. It's like, what kind of party did I join?
Quilly,
that we're debasing ourselves to beating the shit out of this like
This poor
reptile.
innocent animal.
reptile.
Yeah.
And then we strung it up and used it as bait.
Yep.
Next episode, but yes. Quilly throat punches it while it's I think at this point
It's webbed. It can't
it's
move.
webbed. Yeah. And why does it say Mo? Oh, I missed IL. Milo finally, I guess, puts it out of its misery with a tackle.
He headbutts it into unconsciousness.
But, oh, that's right, because he critted on the tackle.
He critted and it nat 1 trying to get away from webs, so
Yeah.
yeah. Fucked up, man.
That's-
poor-
y'all-
Mostly defenseless, Kalis lizard just gets fucking jumped.
just gets beaten. Volcar runs over and does cast Spare the Dying. Which, at this point, we know where this is going. Was that a better option?
I wanted it to at least have a chance. I mean, it wasn't
No.
a good chance.
No,
I,
not
oh,
really.
no, that's not true. We heard that they like it better when they're alive.
That's the
Yep.
yeah, that's
That's
the reason.
There
the
it is.
reason.
That's
Yeah.
the
I was about to
reason.
say, let's be honest, it had no chance. We were
if anything, it would have been putting it out of its misery if we just killed it right there.
Yep.
But no, we decided to be the upstanding citizens that we are and spare it from dying just so it can, die again.
Just so it can serve you
Um,
better by dying more conveniently.
Exactly.
Like real
Honorable
heroes.
soldiers you are.
Yep.
To be fair, it's all in the name of saving Tinny, which is in the name of saving dozens to hundreds of other people, as far as we know. So,
Exactly.
The greater good.
Yeah, make the
needs
greater
the many.
good.
The great.
The greater good.
And Melody didn't say it. She's fired.
My last note is just big boy coming.
Oh, yeah.
Big boy coming. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
So-
that's how we end up the episode.
Yeah, you leave the body there. You all run away to the other side. Tinny uses rope trick. You go into the pocket dimension.
Yep.
And you wait.
Rope trip coming out in the clutch.
True.
Really?
Yeah, it turns
handy
out
spell.
Tinny has some useful stuff.
I've got a lot of utility. One of my players used that in one of our ice dungeon crawls, and it was like, this is really effective for short rests and avoiding stuff you don't want to fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's fantastic. But yeah, that's where we end the episode there. These were both simpler episodes than most of them in terms of amount of scenes and stuff happening. It was 2.5 scenes in 11 and then 3.5 in 12.
And strangely enough, there's a lot more brevity in these two episodes than there normally is.
Which was thank God, because Kayla didn't say it was going to be a good episode in the beginning.
That was the one.
We've learned our lessons.
I shut up immediately. I no longer say that it's going to be a good episode. We're going to have some funny moments. Because that always turns out great, doesn't it?
Always turns out perfect.
Yeah.
Just peachy.
Never.
Yeah.
All right. So, Melody, your first time through, and again, Dani and Josh, I'll always ask, was there anything you wish you would have done differently in these episodes? Anything you thought of but stifled because your character wouldn't have done that, or you wish you would have done because your character would have done that?
I would have put that poor thing out of its misery. I would have put a pillow over that thing and just let it go to sleep. Just let it go to sleep, because what we did to it was not sanctioned by PETA. I will live with that. I will live with that imaginary animal that we killed.
Yep. And you didn't even catch one for White Claw.
Oh, shit!
I told them.
I know. We'll touch on that next time, but
necklace?
you didn't even catch one for White Claw. Her only request in this world.
Yeah. It's the only way I'm going to get in good with her father, because after what I did.
Nah, that's never going to happen. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
no, you're fucked. But, yeah. And anyway, sorry, not to take away from Ben's question. I'll leave it to y'all.
I mean,
if
you don't
anything
have
else.
to have answers to it either. I just this is if you write something down and want to talk about it, bring it here.
That's difficult. I feel like I actually hit all the things that I think Kalis would have done. Maybe not the actual stand back and watch these people brutally assault a lizard.
World Star. That's all I
yeah,
imagined. You just filming on your phone.
He's just calling up Garrison. He's like, get a load of this shit. But yeah, I don't know. I think I was pretty satisfied for the most part out of these episodes. I'm actually a lot more satisfied next episode, but we're not going to talk about that right now.
Nice. Well, look forward to it.
And then I'll throw it off to the Melody.
I feel like I'm still kind of feeling out Tinny a little bit, because she wasn't a fully super fully formed character, and also because my approach to a guest character is slightly more limited than what I would normally do. I usually go way too far above and beyond a character, so I don't think there was anything that I don't know I thought of during the session or or afterwards where it's like, oh, maybe I should have done this instead. But I do want to start actually fleshing out her character a little bit more, because I think she's very straightforward to play, oddly. So I don't know.
Nice.
I want to add some stuff to her.
Nice. Yeah, I was curious because like kind of playing a guest character. I wondered if you were. I wonder if there's anything like you struggled with because you don't quite have all the backstory the rest of the group does, or if you have a ton of ideas for Tinny but want to limit them because of the guest capacity, or I mean, honestly, hearing that you want to flesh Tinny out, I'm like, oh, this is exciting. I want to see more.
I think part of it, like kind of integrating with like a new group, both like in and out of game for me. At least there was always like a little bit of getting used to it and like trying to figure out how I fit or like how well I can mesh with them and such. Tinny's like a very outgoing and bubbly character, so it's not really a problem for her, but I have to think about it a little bit more. And then I think also, a bit as like a guest character, I know it's like this is kind of like a little bit of like, oh, it's kind of Tinny's arc and she's like helping them with this, but I also don't want to like take away from the spotlight of like the original group either. So it's a bit of a balance.
I will say, I just want to chime in there a little bit. I think we worked together very nicely to create a good framework to set you up for that, what you just said at the end there, because the arc needs Tinny to happen, and now in some ways it's become about her. And to a certain degree, the party is essentially a captive audience in that they don't realistically have a way to say no to this, at least without a lot of changes and considerations. And so I think the balance is really nice because the spotlight kind of has to be a little bit on Tinny story-wise, and she's kind of our injured duckling right now. Like she shows up and everyone loves her, and then she's sick and injured and everyone's like, no, fuck this, we need to protect her. And everyone was already going even before Zentha made that offer. Like clearly everyone was already in on it, and so I think that lends itself nicely to that dynamic personally.
Yep, sounds about right.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
When you see an injured puppy, your first reaction is to cuddle it and make it feel better.
Unless you're Volcar.
What now? What was that?
Unless you're Volcar.
No, that's only pigeons.
Yeah.
That you spill your life stories to, and then turn into small children that will probably come back to haunt me.
Yeah.
Oh, I have notes. Oh
dear.
Yeah.
I'm sure you do.
That's actually the Crown's other adopted child. I'll have you know.
Maybe.
Now you're double screwed.
All right. Last few notes, mostly not episode or in-game related, except for this one. Melody, the voice choice for Phineas is incredible. I love it. I don't know why. It's just like so nice.
So I took this voice from Jester from Critical Role Campaign 2. But originally she wasn't going to have this voice. She was going to have Ivy's voice. But then I brought in Ivy and I was like, I'm fine. What do I do? I don't do this many characters normally. I gotta give them new voices. So it was actually switched around. But it's fun to do.
It is it's very directly Jester. But it's still great.
Jester before there was Jester.
We all love it. Like it's cool. And again, with this being said in the past, it's like, there's going to be a lot of references to the future stuff because we know what it is. So like,
who knows?
Maybe this is Jester's bloodline somehow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We don't know.
Great granddaughters.
Hey, we don't know Tinny's last name.
It's true. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, Tenny Lavore. Wow. That would be such a mic drop.
It would be.
Whoa! Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that makes way too much sense.
Yeah.
I would have. I was talking with with Fraya about like certain character possibilities, and there was one in particular. It's like, oh, that'd be so cool to name drop. But yeah, the things I would do sometimes if I was to remake characters and build them around certain certain things that you would see in Exandria and the current timeline. And just as little fun sidebars.
Yeah.
Calamity was just so amazing. It changed everything.
So good.
I still haven't seen it. I work too damn much.
You.
I haven't been able to watch Critical Role in almost 2 months. I just work too damn much now. I know, it's sad.
I mean, we are taking your Sundays now.
Yeah.
All of my day, it's fine. This is my whole life is doing this, so it's I'm okay with it. But I don't get to watch Critical Role right now as a result. But anyway, more final notes from Ben, if there's any.
Yes, Melody. Welcome. At the end of everyone's first episode, I will ask, if you're not too embarrassed to share, you can opt out. Do you remember your first gamer tag?
First gamer tag.
Or username? Because everyone's just like, everyone's responses is usually like, yeah,
honestly, okay. While you're thinking, I would love to run a short, either a one shot or just a short adventure in Cyberpunk Red, where we use everyone's gamer tags as their net running names.
That's fantastic.
I don't know. I had a great gamer tag. My first gamer tag was Whirling Zeus.
I know, it's great. It's so cyberpunk. But yeah, Melody, do you have one? If you know,
just regarding like the uninteresting ones that were just like my name and like numbers.
Mine was Ben43 with 2 N's. So don't worry.
I don't. I'm trying to. I don't know. I have no idea what my first one would have been. Maybe like my Steam account is maybe like kind of older. That one, when I first made it, was Yoshi Girl with like all the numbers, like
nice.
All the letters as numbers.
Also great for net running.
Yes.
Yoshi Girl.
That's awesome. No, I did
my first Cyberpunk when I was over at Gen Con last week. Oh my god, 2 weeks ago.
It's a good system. It's fun.
It was so fun.
I could definitely see like a Cyberpunk character named Yoshi Girl, 100%.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it's definitely a net runner, 100%.
But anyway, yeah.
The only other note I had was we put a pin on our cosplay discussion. If we want to head out and save that for another time, that's fine. If we want to just gloss over it, I don't know how much time everyone has here.
I got time.
I am
sure. What was the question again? Cosplay was our first
if you've
cosplay?
If you've done it, how much? You're whatever. I am kind of worried about the lightning and thunder outside my window, but have been for like 2 hours. So like, whatever.
We'll see. I'm down to chat a little bit longer.
Sure. I'll even start. Like I've only done one real cosplay. One I just kind of put on a shirt and said, yeah, I'm this character. A plain red shirt, I think. But the one I actually like cut out foam pieces for was Moomin Rider from One Punch Man.
Oh
yeah.
Nice. I know you love Moomin Rider.
Yes. I mean, I want to do cosplay more. It's just A, time, and B, figuring out how to do it.
I could probably name mine. It's very typical for a fantasy lover, especially high fantasy. It was a good old elf archer. It's the ranger type, and goddamn, is putting on elf ears the most annoying thing on the planet, by the way. You have to glue those things onto your ears, and not to mention it's just gross. And I don't like having kind of liquids on me. I'm just not that kind of person. So it's like when you have them on and then they got all click, the glue gets all like hardened and stuff like that. It's just not my kind of thing. So I probably took those off, and then I looked more like Aragorn than anything else. But it was that was probably that.
It was really cool though. I was like 12, so where's that?
I have
yeah,
I have like a bunch because I always cosplay if I go to like a con or like for Anime Expo. So I've done 3 times the Anime Expo, then San Diego Comic Con just last month. I think when I was like in 6th grade, my Halloween costume was Yuna from Final Fantasy X.
Halloween costume?
Halloween costume. My mom made it, and I gave me like a staff and everything. And,
Wow,
yeah,
that's
and
amazing.
My parents did not support my cosplaying initiatives at all.
Back then, I didn't even know that was cosplay. I was just like, I
I'll
want to
pay
be
for
this
one
character.
part. You got to do the rest.
My mom was really good at sewing. And then there's another Halloween, I think in like college, as Mikasa from Attack on Titan. In varying degrees of quality. I was also, so my first Anime Expo was Hatsune Miku. Second was Asuna from Sword Art Online. Third was she's a character from like an older manga. It's from Chobits. I was like Chi / Fraya. So I was like both of those. And then Loki for Comic Con. But it's always been great. People are so nice and like just ask for pictures all the time, and like they're very sweet about it.
My first cosplay was to a Florida SuperCon. That was my first convention ever. I did an Anbu Black Ops from Naruto with like 3 of my friends, and me and another guy was an Anbu, and then we had one of our persons as the Hokage, and we were guarding him as we walked around. We got a lot of pictures. It was great. And then when I turned like 18, that was the next time I cosplayed. I had just come back from college for the summer, and my cousins and I were all going to a convention, and they were selling costumes for cheap out at a what's it called, at a stall, and I bought for $20 a Kyusuke Urahara complete costume that was in my size. I had to buy the hat separately for like $10. I don't know what, it was a beautiful costume, and I bought that, and I went outside, I think I stole someone's cane.
Oh my god.
Because I don't remember paying for that cane that I was walking around with.
Wow.
And my girlfriend at the time was dressed as Nami. I remember that from one of the movies. So like basically a small black dress with a very bad red wig on.
Awesome.
And actually, this might be a good final question. But what is everyone's dream cosplay that they could do? You know, if you really had all of the material, the time, the artistic capabilities, what would you do?
Have the time to get my body into the shape I want it to.
That too.
So I have 2 ends of the spectrum for that. I could bulk up and be Sweet Tooth from Twisted Metal, or
hell yeah, that'd be awesome.
That'd be awesome.
Bulk up and be super muscular for Captain Falcon. But I used to race cars as a kid, so like most of my Halloweens I was a race car driver, which was I just put on my racing suit and helmet, put 0 effort into it.
So you mean you were actually just Ben?
I was just me. Yeah.
What I would love to is if I had the time and the effort to like a full-on Mandalorian like battle master gear.
Jeez.
Like looking like the samurai-esque battle master armor. I've always loved that with like a Mandalorian twist. Oh, that looks, I've seen some people who have done this before, and it looks amazing.
There were a bunch of Mandalorians at SDCC. I think there was one in the Masquerade that got Best in Show. I don't know if it's...
the Mandalorian Maverick, which are a great charity. They're part of like the 501st Coalition. Like they do charities for different. They raise money for charities and stuff like that. I've always wanted to build one of those suits just so I could join the 501st, but it's a lot of time and effort to put into a costume that I don't have at the moment.
Now that I think of it, mainly because it occupied such a pivotal like moment in my upbringing, and I just always wanted to do it because I identified with them a ton. Maybe it shows through Kalis, who knows? But Cloud Strife, I want like an expert made cosplay, like to the T. All of it matches. It also helps that I'm blonde, maybe, so all I'd have to do is like really spike the shit out of my hair.
Seen these people who like take that cement and put it in their hair.
Oh my god!
Oh my god, that's insane. That like, I hope that washes out because my god, it's like.
Oh, it's a struggle. Rock. It's a struggle. Yeah. It'll come out eventually, like, but your hair will feel like shit for weeks.
You can flick a rock at it and it'll bounce off.
Yeah, it won't move.
Yeah, but I just always loved the character, and if I had the option to have a full-sized, real-life Buster sword, I would do it. It's too cool not to do it. It's a big sword. And when I see big swords, I just get rushes of dopamine because they're so cool.
If I had all the time in the world, I would love to do Berserker Lancelot from Fate Zero.
Oh yeah.
If I had the money and the figure for it.
Yeah.
But so interestingly,
what about you, Fraya? Yeah.
Yeah, interestingly, I've never cosplayed. Mostly I was too poor, you know? You need some money to cosplay, and I just didn't have it. Even though, hilariously, my mom is an incredible seamstress who can make everything. My oldest sister is an incredible hairdresser. She makes wigs. She does a bunch of, how do I do that? Sort of special effects makeup and stuff like that. She does a bunch of, her and her one friend every year do 30 looks of Halloween, and they crush it. I mean, they do some incredible stuff. So I grew up like, I could have made something happen if I was interested, but I was just, I was very timid as a wee lad, and in some ways still am. So it wasn't a thing I was into when I probably could have made it happen, and then when I wanted to, I couldn't. I've only ever been to one con. The last 5 years, I've pretty much been on the road my entire life, and I can't go to conventions when I'm in the wilderness working. So I went to YomaCon with Casey in Detroit in 2018, and though I didn't cosplay, I wore clothing that I already own that I wear, but it's long, flowy skirt, some very sort of medievally, like, sort of elfy kind of stuff. And someone was like, "Oh, who are you being?" I was like, "No, I go to Walmart like this. Like, this is what I look like." I would like to, at some point next year, I would like to be Geralt. I can't say it's my dream one, but, like, all I have to do is trim my hair a little bit, get it the right color, and, like, you know, I already have that going for me, so that's easy enough. If I had to go all out for something, I would love to pick a Common Rider, but probably Gaim or Forza.
I'd love
Wizard would be good too. The belts.
Wizard.
yeah.
Where's that?
0-1.
There's Drive.
0-1. Dude.
Yeah, that's true. So there's a lot of fun Common Riders that I'd like to do. But I don't think about cosplaying very much. I think this is going to be maybe a little real life for this, but I think as a byproduct of growing up very insecure about my body and myself, I don't really imagine myself looking like these characters and things like that. So it is something I want to start doing and kind of become more comfortable with that. However, a while ago, me and my sister were working on this wasn't necessarily a cosplay, but it was for a Renaissance fair, a very dwarfy sort of thing. Because I'll just send it in the Discord for now. That's what I looked like at the time, A little bit different than I am right now, but
Makes absolute
I had
sense.
the Volcar hair and the braids and everything. It was completely shaved on the sides, and I used to braid my beard and all that. However, a lot of people joke that I should go as someone from One Piece, because this is summer me essentially. I look like I'm from One Piece. So a lot of people think that I should be either a dwarf of some sort. A lot of people say that I should be some kind of an elf because of the hair, and I get pirate. So maybe I can be a half elf, half dwarf pirate at some point, and
those are some
fulfill my
pants.
destiny. Oh, my wardrobe gets pretty wild. To be honest, it's very colorful. It doesn't really come through on stream, because I just wear a shirt for this and stuff.
I don't know why, but it gives me very Brook vibes, and I don't know why that is from One Piece.
Brook's a skeleton.
I know, but here's the thing: it's like the clothing really gives me like,
Yeah.
you know,
It's got a Soul King vibe.
yeah, and maybe a bit of the hair too. It's like a pretty big hair.
Yeah.
But it gives me
when my hair is a
Brook
little
vibes.
shorter, it gets real big. Like it's long enough now that it's like pretty straight, but if I cut like 4 or 5 inches off of it, it's just fucking spirals everywhere. So but yeah, I would like to be Geralt at some point next year. I think that would be very satisfying, and I don't know, I it's not a thing I think very much on, so Kamen Rider would be fun. And I'll have to put some thought into that. Maybe I can find an NPC or a character from the Rolling 20's so I can be, because that could be fun.
Halloween
'Cause I did make them.
2.5 months till Halloween.
Oh, I gotta grow up my hair a bit more to become Kayla's.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
also
I
have
don't wanna
to
shave
go to
my
the gym a
head.
bit.
Halloween
pull that
episode.
off.
Everyone dresses as their
Oh,
character.
that'd be so difficult. I would need to keep growing my hair, and I can't do that. This
Yeah,
is
I
where
can't.
getting
I have
about.
a bald spot in the middle of my head. I can't really like shave the other.
Well, here's
two
what I'll
sides.
do. Half my hair will be Kayla's hair, and the other half will be Volcar hair, and I'll be the Red Bull boy. Yes.
I would.
But
I
Halloween
would
episode would be
totally
great,
do that. That'd
as
be
much as
so
we could
fun.
make. It's tough because most of the clothing that we associate with the characters is just full sets of armor. So that's a little
Yeah.
hard to represent.
Hey, don't tell me what
You can find anything at Spirit Halloween.
Don't tell me what I can't.
I'm not
do.
saying you can't. I'm saying it might take some time. But I would love a Halloween episode.
Yeah,
That would be a lot of
Last
fun.
Halloween. That's another one.
Yeah, I would need some serious. Oh, that'd be now that I think about it, that'd be an awesome awesome cosplay, Kayla's.
I mean, you're pretty much the right
Super-
height for it, so you just get a scar
yeah.
under your eye and
The
you're set, man.
scar, the armor. I need to put on a few pounds. This guy's pretty beefy.
He's pretty
You're gonna have
beefy.
to like not sleep for like 3 days in advance to get those bags under his eyes.
Yeah. What else? There's also those eye. I need contact lenses. Those
Yes,
are
you
some
do.
Pretty, some pretty gnarly eyes too.
I mean,
hey, one day I'll do it one day.
yeah, one day. Maybe when we eventually have our in-person game. I will say,
That'll be
Melody,
the day.
you would make a great Tinny. Tinny is such a
Really
good fit
fun.
for you. That would be so good to see.
I've done a tiefling before. I feel like I could do it. But in like
Gotta get the
steampunk, I
horn.
love steampunk like style. It would be so fun to make.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So Ben,
yeah.
at some point, so
Uh-huh.
if we do a Halloween episode, could I get you to pick a character that you, whether from the party or an NPC, or just show up as if you were a guest character? What character would you be? That would be amazing for a podcast recording following the Halloween episode, to just have you become Showbiz Ben again and do something like that. If you want, that could be awesome to do.
100%.
That'd be
Will
great.
do. The Ren Fair is also starting, so like I've been getting ideas for that. I have to find last year. I basically went as a hunter trapper,
Okay.
so that can work. I can figure out something for that. But yeah, that's 2.5 months away.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got time.
It's not like I have a Gandalf cosplay on the way.
Hell yes, that's amazing. But
'Cause
yeah,
my girlfriend
I'd love a
wants to go
Halloween
as a
one.
My girlfriend wants to go as a hobbit.
Oh,
Respectable. That's a great couple costume theme there. God, I don't even usually do much for Halloween, to be honest. Like, I probably haven't dressed up in like 14, 15 years. Yeah, even though, so like, I grew up, like, Ben, you know my uncle, right? Like, a horror movie prop making dude, and like all the artsy people in my family who love Halloween. We actually used to go, I say we, I was included, but it was mostly my family, would make half of our house into our Halloween thing. And we'd let people inside, and like we'd do a whole thing. And at one point, my uncle completely sculpted and made his own demon corpse. And we had the candy bowl in the middle of its just disemboweled midsection, and he was under the table in full makeup and prosthetics and get up. And we used to make a lot of people cry yearly. We did a lot of crazy stuff. So it's amazing that growing up in that family and with all this stuff, that I'd never really partook very much or enjoyed costumes. I was just too shy for it. So I don't know. I somehow missed that one because my family is very, very into it. So we'll see.
Trouble with me in costumes is I'm an adult with adult money, and I can and I have no self-control. You can see over there, over my shoulder right now, the hat from last year.
Yeah, I mean, this is why I got 3D printers, so any little dumb gadgets I want, I can just make for like $5. Because I would be the same way, but yeah, we'll see. We'll chat about Halloween episode. That could be really fun to do, even if we're not playing or you're not being your characters, because I can't possibly be all of mine. There's no way.
Some twisted amalgamation.
15 minutes of content, 2 hours 45 minutes of costume changes for Friday.
Yeah, one square inch of each character on my face.
Just play the best one, you know? It is what it is.
No, don't start. We don't need
yeah,
to do
Josh
this
will expire. You broke him. Come on, man. It's gonna be amazing because Volkar's never gonna talk to Sully again.
Yeah.
He's gonna leave every time.
Why are you leaving, Volkar? Come back. You're gonna try the muffins this time.
Oh, right.
I'll spare you. I'm not gonna join in on this.
Oh my god, my face just got so red.
So yeah, this is our other weekly mini game along with Theron's Elf Eyes.
How can we kill Volkar as fast as humanly possible?
So
Kill
any
Volkar,
other
yes.
Any other thoughts, question, comments from anyone?
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
Always great seeing everyone. Thank you for joining, both Josh and Dani. Thank you for coming back. Melody, thank you for joining us. I'm apparently very tired, and sorry for butchering your name, but great spot for us to wrap up. Thank you, anyone, for listening to Take 20, our semi-weekly podcast every other week. That's the one where we recap the episodes of the Rolling 20s. I've been your host, Ben, with DM Fraya. I pointed this way, but that's not the way that even my camera shows. Maybe that way. High five.
High five. Scaling's bad.
Are we gonna try? Are we gonna try like the circle?
Oh,
thing again?
No, that went very bad last time.
While we're doing that, subscribe, like Rathmore Games on Twitch, YouTube, other social media platforms.
Yeah, TikTok, Instagram, all that
promise
shit.
we will have more content. We promise.
Yes. Yep. So on that note, I guess I've been streaming video games 4 or 5 nights a week, a lot of Phasmophobia. If you like watching me get killed by ghosts constantly, I guess the stream has been mostly a compilation of me being massacred and embarrassed time and time again, including a horrible Dying Light experience. It was awful. The video will be up for that eventually. Anyway, I've been streaming some games. literally the Rolling 20s, weekly. We have this upcoming modern fantasy noir campaign that Casey's going to be running. It's not D&D. And I think I will, because I'm aware of the fact that now, when this episode goes up, till when the first episodes of what I'm about to talk about come up, very few people will have seen this, so I'm not that worried about it, and it's cool, and I want to get it out there. So, soon, couple weeks soon, the other campaign that I will be running, which is set in the game and system of Mutant Year Zero by the Swedish company Free League, will be here, and it is in fact entitled Tales from the Trash Can Fire. And we got Dani and Melody in the cast, and some others, and Casey's involved, and there's a new face as well, 2 new faces actually, and this has been in the works for months and life and a lot of stuff, and we took a lot of time to build a delightfully demented setting to use. So that'll be coming pretty soon. It will also be semi-weekly. Episodes might be a bit shorter. It's going to be a very different sort of thing from the Rolling 20s, and buckle in for some crazy new words that we'll all be learning as we go, and an insane and bleak post-apocalyptic exploration and story. So, got that coming.
Will ensue.
We will shenan again.
So soon, we'll get more. We'll get different takes on Dani and Melody. You'll see me on the other side of the table playing in Casey's game. You'll see Josh. We don't know our characters quite yet, but I suspect it'll be a little different than Volcar, given what we've been talking about. So,
more things.
We got some stuff coming. Yeah, a lot of stuff in the works right now, and I'm super excited.
It's gonna be a bumpy ride.
Yeah. So what that means is that I'm gonna need to find, if we want to do similar, probably less frequent, but similar companion podcasts for other shows, I might need to find more hosts.
Hey,
but
who knows?
My job.
Maybe for the one that Casey's running, I'll be the host.
Hey,
that'd be great. That'd be great.
I could totally host it.
Yeah, you could. We can chat on that if you're actually interested. That'd be awesome. But we'll see what happens with all that. But yeah, a lot of good stuff coming. Thanks everyone for listening and watching. Also, I didn't want to say it at the start of the episode. I know I set up RPG sounds to use, and then Steam immediately crashed on me, and I just didn't reopen it. And then I was like, now it'll be awkward because we're 10 minutes in and there wasn't music. So next podcast, we should have some accompanying music. I'm not going to add it post on this. No, I'm not doing it. I don't care. No, I have too much to edit. But yeah, thank you, Ben. Thanks the 3 of you for joining us, and we will catch you next time. Happy gaming, everyone.
Alrighty. Happy gaming.